Space Commander.
Space Commander. Space Commander. We were supposed to do this last week. Now, the benefit of not doing it last week, sometimes tragedy turns into success. And so now you and I connected over our love for both Action Force and G.I. Joe. Now, I think we can both agree that for both of them, they fight for freedom over land, sea, and air. Right? And for you, it's well above the air.
Yeah.
Now, something happened very recently where the coming of legends happened very close to you. And over land and sea and air is exactly what happened, because you came down from the air. We had, from the land, we had TJC. And over the sea, or through the sea, we didn't just have one, but we had two Scubas, Scuba Pete and Mrs. Scuba. Deep underwater. Hello, Mrs. Scuba.
Hello. I'm not sure if my mics are working or not, but
Yep.
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. I can hear Pete, but I can't see Pete.
He sounds like he's underwater.
Hello.
Is that Merman? So the legends that I have before me, I feel like I'm the odd one out, because very recently you all got together. I wasn't invited.
We did. It was quite the affair.
So who wants to jump in and tell exactly what it was that got you guys all together to hang out?
I got a message from TJC. That's how it started for me.
Two legends were coming from over the stateside, so obviously Pete and Leslie came over, so we had to make a big day of it, didn't we?
We did.
oh,
We were
what
like,
a day it was.
let's if we only had a central location meeting point that maybe would have, I don't know, toys. And so we were like, what better place than Lester Vintage Toys, for crying out loud? And it just went from there. It was awesome. We took over the shop for like 3 hours.
TJC sent me a
They pretty much handed Pete the keys.
Yeah.
Terry, you sent me a encyclopedia's worth of photos of your journey. I will go through them. Hopefully your internet will catch up with the rest of us, so you're not lagging behind us all. But we all seem to be running off of Space Commander's Commodore 64 internet today.
But it's funny, because my internet is finally starting to work a bit more efficiently, as everyone else's is now going down the tubes.
I think you're just taking everyone else's internet power to drive your own.
Yeah, sucking upwards.
All right, well, let's say hi to the chat real quick. Matthew Comstock couldn't stick around, but he says, heading out to a friend's birthday dinner. We'll watch later. Love to you all. Thanks, Matthew. Good to see you. Blewz is here. How's everything going of late? Well, we're here.
Against all odds, we're here.
That's right.
That's right. Great song. Yeah. Double duty from Mrs. Scuba Pete. Speaking of the Scubas, you guys have your own channel, joint channel now called The Scubas. Link is in the description. Hans Chow kicked in the door. It's streaming time. Mrs. Space Commander with a message saying, hi all, hope everyone's well. Mrs. Scuba Pete, it was great to meet you both. Sorry we didn't stay long.
It was so great to meet you. I wish we could have spent more time.
It was great because of Scuba is much bigger in real life than he appears on screen, let me tell you. So, I'd already gone in. Me and Mr. Space Commander had gone in and met up with Kraken. He was already there from Kraken, Kraken Creations, YouTube channel, Kraken Wakes. So I'd met him previously at the Palitoy get together last November.
Oh, nice.
So we were chatting, and I heard the door open, and I turned around, and this mountain of a man walks in, and straight away I did what I noticed every other Englishman did when he met Scuba Pete. You hold out your hand to a sign of peace and to shake hands, and with every single person, Scuba stepped inside the range of the arm and went for a full bear hug.
Nice.
I'm a hugger.
You had all these nice, polite Englishmen having their air crushed out of their lungs, but it was all for a good cause.
Well, that my request from Space Commander was to make sure that he was going out giving people hugs, and he wasn't for it. He was like, "I'm a gentleman, I'll be shaking hands." So I'm glad you took it into your own hands and arms, Pete, and gave out some hugs.
Yep,
I'm a hugger as well. I'm a big hugger. Expect hugs.
I gave TJC Harp a hug. That's in the photos.
I think Mr. Scuba Pete, his internet's lagging, so I'm going to hop off so he can be the star of the show with the three of you guys.
Okay, well, thanks for joining us. We'll catch you on the Scubas.
Yes,
we'll check you out on that channel.
Thank you, guys.
Good to see you. Well, there goes the classiest person we had. Adam is in the chat. How are you, Adam? Full of Figures is also here.
Connor.
Facebook user saying greetings. I'm just going to call you Facebook user from now on. I'm almost certain I know who it is, but you get a greetings. Payne's Toy Samples is here.
What's up?
JJ Abrams. The JJ Abrams? Ruined
it.
TJC's in the chat. He dropped out of the live, but he's in the chat. Largo's Largo. Check out that channel too. Hello. Sergeant Slaughter for president. I'm not against it. He has to be the world president, though, in order for that to take any effect for me or Space Commander. But Lloyd's of London, good to see you, buddy. Keith Knight.
Keith.
Lots of new names joining us tonight. Welcome
again.
Everyone. Got lots of new names joining us tonight. Heck
yeah. Look at that Robo Skull. Hello, Chad. I saw a super Chad earlier. There it is. Legends. Speaking of legends, thanks for the super Chad.
Super chat.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks, mate. I don't think I've missed anyone. I'll keep going down the list. I think I've got everybody. Oh, Adam, the real toy dude. He's the real one. Lovely to meet. Lovely to see Mr. and Mrs. Scuba. Nice meeting you guys at Celebration. Oh, that would have been cool.
We got to spend a ton of time with Adam. That was a blast.
Chat champion classifieds in the house. Action pop dad. Oh, look. Nick. Smith Lord Speaks says Scuba gave me a hug and trouser friendly kiss. That's nice.
Yeah, we met up in Blackpool a couple of days later. Oh, so good.
What happens at Blackpool stays in Blackpool. Action pop dad. Pete, it was a forking pleasure to spend a day with you in Colville.
Right back at you, pal. That was a blast. So many laughs.
Right, we got some
fights. Terry's back.
He's back and better than ever.
We'll try again.
All we can do is try. So we've got some class in the chat now. So all you lads, behave yourselves. Please feel free to hit the like button and subscribe if you're new. That'd be awesome. This is Incoming Transmission, a show that Space Commander does but makes me do most of the talking.
It was your idea. The whole thing was your idea.
Oh, you're so gentlemanly, so modest. So I'm looking forward to going through these photos with you guys, and we can talk through it. Awesome. There's quite a lot to go through. Chat champion classified. We'll throw some chats. She might throw some chats. Duck your head, guys. She might be throwing chats. But she might throw some links in the chat if we ask nicely. But all the links were sent to me by TJC for me because I don't like doing homework. I'll do it for you guys because I love you guys. I don't like doing homework. Oh. So TJC sent me all the links to just about everybody that has a link that showed up to this thing. So even if you're not here on screen, your link should be in the description. Definitely go and check those out. You can't go wrong. If you're here watching this show, there's definitely a lot of better shows in the link in that description. Go check them out.
Ooh.
Just check them out one
A
time,
lot,
won't
of,
you?
a lot of awesome people.
What I'll do is I'll start with your photos first, Space Commander, because you only sent me 6, and TJC sent me 600. So we'll go through we'll go through yours. So now, before I bring up this photo, you're a gentleman, Space Commander. I know this about you, but when I first saw this first photo, there was something about it that made me do a double take because I had to check to see if you had extended the middle digit, but in actual fact, you were just shaking your fist.
Yeah, that's my old nemesis, the Robo Skull. There,
That's right.
Look, let me. I'll put myself at the bottom. I don't like covering people's faces up when I show up the chats. So the Scubas link. Thank you, Classified, for throwing that. You've earned yourself a lunchbox. So there's the Scubas. Check them out. There's not much on there now because they've only just started it. But if you sub now, you're not going to miss any of the action.
That's right.
There we are. So a little bit of a rivalry there. I see Optimus Prime at the bottom, though.
Yep, he was cool.
That was a cool roll up.
The English version of the middle digit is actually 2 fingers. This, but the other way round. I won't do it because it's rude. But yeah, I kept my fingers clasped. I didn't want to embarrass. I didn't want to embarrass Mrs. Space Commander any more than I already was.
Oh, Blue
I'm sure she doesn't. I'm
He's
sure
a
she
fellow
doesn't.
countryman.
She was very gracious putting up with us all afternoon.
I wonder if I've still got my where is it? Yeah, this one. I had to send her one of these once. We won't talk, we won't say why, but we got a bit rowdy on here one time.
I mean, in this photo, it's important to note that Space Commander does have pants on.
Yes.
Very
If
true.
anyone has ever wanted to know, it's true. And he doesn't always wear a turtleneck.
No,
That's
been the subject of conjecture. The casual commander.
Yeah, the
Casual commander. I love that.
if you look, the uniform is toy accurate, or as close as I can get it. But on a casual day out with the lads, it's just the t-shirt and the hat.
Yeah.
Actually, did we shout out the name of the shop yet?
Go for it, please do.
What was it, TJC? Leicester Vintage Toys?
That's the vintage and old toy store. Something like that.
Great shop.
Yep. So this is
Definitely worth a trip.
This is the roller door outside the shop, and yeah, it's got fantastic artwork on it. As you say, the Robo Skull there, Optimus Prime, and there's a Kenner X-wing up there from before they ruined it.
Well, they ruined it.
Who wins out of a X-wing and Robo Skull?
Luke, of course.
Oh yeah, it's Luke Skywalker for sure. Stay on target.
That's right.
Here's another look at it, a different angle. He still hasn't gotten over it. He's like, get another shot.
You can see
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Adam. Adam, you make a good point. The toy is Space Commander accurate as best as they could. Not the other way around.
Thanks, Adam. You can see Action Man over my shoulder there.
A few quid dropped. Yeah. Yes, there was.
Certainly
A little
was.
wheeling and dealing. I had quite the pile. And they Joe and Gav are brilliant.
So they're the what's the word I'm saying for?
Proprietors.
Right, yeah.
Oh, we got Gerard Kane. Hey
Gerard.
everyone. With a green
And
love
Miriam.
heart. I appreciate it. And is that? Grogu. Nice. So, yep. I only see Space Commander. Well, that's all you need to see. Now, look at this. First of all, TJC, I want to say that before I saw this photo, I thought to myself, if I was going to arm wrestle these lads, I might have a good chance. But after seeing this photo, I'm like, I would have absolutely zero chance of winning an arm wrestle against you. I don't know what I was expecting, but this is definitely over the top level of What is that? Arm strength, arm musculatory structure. I don't know, man. You look tough.
Two
Look tough.
cannons coming in.
Yeah, look at those two cannons. Yeah.
And if you look in that photograph you got there, Zazel,
Yes.
over my left shoulder there, I believe that was the woman who was asking who Scuba Pete was.
Okay.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Like, oh,
Bob, after Bob asked Scuba to sign his book, all you heard in the background was, "Who is it? Who is it? Who is it?"
it's the American.
Spoiler warning: TJC might have let something slip there. We'll hold off on that for a moment.
All right, we'll get there. We'll get there. Hey, Joe Recondo's in the chat. How are you, buddy?
Joe.
Hey, Joe.
He's a good guy. I like Joe.
That was a great pub, though.
What was the name of the pub?
Oh God!
You'd have to.
Too blasted to
Terry.
remember.
so many pints.
Well, it looks
A
like
good
a
one.
classy,
A
looks like
damn
a
good
classy
one.
joint.
Yeah, that was something that was meant to be lunch, but Pete afterwards was like, "Don't know if I can eat much after that."
I got my first steak and ale pie, and now I'm severely addicted and like going through withdrawals now. Yeah.
You see, I've got,
so those
I've
women
got,
were hilarious. Apparently,
I've got one.
they
arm
know
around
celebrities
TJC.
when they see them. Sorry, go ahead, Space Commander. Don't let me talk over you.
Sorry, mate. I was just saying, I've got one arm around him. That's close enough to a hug for me, isn't it?
That's pretty close. Yeah, you're right. All right, we'll move on to the next photo. Now, look at the size difference. You are a tall man, Pete.
Large man.
How tall are you, Space Commander?
Oh, I must be. I'm nearly 7 foot tall. So Scuba Pete must be like 8 or 9 feet tall.
Right, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's definitely.
was
Smith Lord speaks. How are you, matey? And Chasing 80s Toys popped in. How are you, bud?
Hey, Chris.
A lot of legends here today. Hit the like button, please. I'd appreciate it. Look, do what they're doing and thumbs up. Smash that like button. So if you're 7 feet tall and I'm only about 5'8", I wouldn't even be in this. I wouldn't even be in this photo. I'd be just see me. Pick me up. Pick me
You
up.
need one of those the kitty high chairs there in the background.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
I think we're kind of similar, Zazel. Just leave it at
Oh, right. Fair enough. Is that an Ewok in the background sitting?
that. Behind Scuba's elbow, yes.
Yeah. They're
It definitely
everywhere.
looks like
Those little bears.
Looks like an Ewok.
beat your mama.
Colville Ewok.
Now look at this.
The
Look
legend
at
of his
this.
creation.
The myth. The legend.
You walk around the corner.
He looks so chuffed to meet you, Space Commander.
He remembered me.
He
You
did?
missed the Ewok. Like you
I
missed
think
it
you
on the day,
recognise-
or you missed it in the photo. If you missed it in the photo, I can try and go back to it. But if you missed it on the day, well, I can't help you there. I don't have a DeLorean. Oh yeah.
I
Definitely.
think
great
Bob
guy, yeah.
Bob recognised the hat. I was going to say he recognised me, but I think it was more the hat than anything. But
And
yeah,
then-
we walked in and somebody said, "Hey, look who's over there." And I turned around and there's Bob sat there.
Ah, nice.
Hiding behind his menu.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was sitting there looking at like what to order. And all of a sudden he comes around the corner and he's like, "You must be Pete." And I'm like, "Hey, that's Bob Brechin." And I'm like, "Bob Brechin?" And I'm like, "I wonder what he's having lunch at this pub too." I mean, it still hadn't even sunk in that he was there for all of us, you know? Like, duh.
You're such a kind soul that you would just think that he's there just to have lunch.
Yeah,
with you.
like what? Well, we are near
In the same
Colville, so we
place.
must be having a bite. You know?
So it was a bit late for Bob to join us today, but he did say hello, and he said that he had a great time. So that's good to hear that he enjoyed himself.
He's
Yeah,
so
definitely.
generous with his time.
Yeah, he's a true gent.
And he just oozes facts. I mean, like you just sit there and you're like, I'm a sponge, just Keep it coming. It's amazing.
I just remember something on the Full Force podcast earlier today. I believe they mentioned that Bob's got a book coming out. I think it's called My Palitoy Journey or My Palitoy Adventure.
Yeah,
it's on
going to be a Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Yep, coming up soon. We're all going in on that.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, Bob,
So
he dedicates so much of his time to all us nerds. So,
He does.
it'd be nice to reciprocate,
Yep.
Oh, I agree, 100%. Daredevil says, hello, glad you all could join me. That's all right. Thanks for letting us hang out with you.
Dave.
So I never thought that doing this channel would ever amount to being able to meet these fine people. Like, I've never met Bob in real life, but I've got to interact with him thanks to this channel. Space Commander, TJC, Scuba Pete, being able to connect with you guys on an online level is, it's the way that people do mostly connect these days. But for you guys to be able to catch up in person, that's too good.
Yeah, it's a whole other level. And everybody is just as nice as you want or hope that they would be when you meet them in person. That hooking up with you guys and Nick and Alan Dawson. I mean, just everybody. Matt the Kraken. I had no idea he was going to be there, and it was. I bought his stuff for years, and and there he is.
Yeah,
his wife and
when TJC gave me the details of where we were meeting up, I said, "Do you want me to try and get hold of a couple of people? Do you want more people to come to this?" And he said, "Yeah, go ahead." So I contacted Jim the Baron Marshall, who, as we all know, is the curator of the Blood for the Baron website, bftb.uk, and of course wrote this wonderful book. But unfortunately for us, it was his mum's birthday that weekend, and he'd gone down south to meet her. But one of the other names I tried was the Kraken, Matt Paul, and yeah, he seemed over the moon to be included in such a thing, and he brought Mrs. Kraken with him, and it was nice to catch up with him again. It was also nice to see someone who I had met previously, so that it wasn't all total strangers. Well, not total strangers. We've met.
I know what you mean.
But yeah, you get my point. But yeah, sadly, she fell ill later in the day, and they had to take off early. But it was still wonderful to meet them all, and I emailed and just said, "Well, I hope she feels better soon," and thanks for coming along. I think it was a good experience all around.
Yeah,
it was a couple hours of good hunting and conversation at Leicester there.
Yep.
So Bob looks absolutely chuffed to be having a photo with Space Commander here, and Space Commander's playing it cool, like
right, yeah,
right. It's like, sign this photo, Space Commander. Send him a copy of this.
I'm doing that damn thing again. Whenever someone points a camera at me, I clench up my jaw, and you can see that I'm starting to get the George Lucas chaw. And I dig George Lucas, but I don't want that chin, So I need to keep my mouth open when people take a picture.
The next photo I see of you, you're going to be like, ah. All right, next photo. Oh, who's this?
I couldn't pass up the opportunity to have a shot of Sarge for you.
That was great.
Well, Stephen Sheets would appreciate it.
So many awesome toy lines. I mean, it's a decently sized shop, but it is packed to the roof. And I mean to the roof.
That was dizzying how many lines they had in there, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah. I don't know how many times I did that loop and saw something different every time. And, I got to have that.
That was one of your famous lines, Pete, in a minute. It was just like, are we going to make a move? I'll just do one more circuit.
Yeah.
Like, just a sec.
They
you ready?
They even had stuff on the ceiling. There was so much stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, we'll go through Terry's photos in a moment. He got photos even of the carpet. He was just like, everything gets in.
Got to be done.
Thanks for showing us through these photos, Space Commander. What does that say at the bottom? Starcom.
Yeah.
All right, I almost misread that, but yeah, that looks great. Look at those figures, classic stuff. They don't make toys like they used to.
Not like that.
So, Classified, thank you for throwing in the Scubas. Go check them out one time, won't you? Actually, don't check them out one time. Check them out for all time, won't you?
The pressure's on to produce our first content now.
Just one video. That's it. The pressure's on for one video.
Coming
Hello
up
to
very,
Spalding.
very soon, we'll have a Lester Vintage toy hunt video on chasing 80s toys. That's probably the next thing for me.
Oh, yes, nice.
Definitely tune in for that.
Happi Axxident, yo, 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 and a Joe. That sounds like a seafaring version of G.I. Joe. With a yo, 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 and a Joe. There you go, Scuba Pete. That's a nautical song for you.
Yo, ho, yo. Oh.
All right, so let's go into your pictures here, TJC. We'll add Scuba. We'll put Scuba at the top as our guest, and us losers at the bottom here. Just kidding, Space Commander. We're not losers.
No, I don't know. I think you know, in the toy channels on YouTube, I think we're considered the absolute slums.
Slums, yeah, we're slumming it back here.
The slums of YouTube toy channels.
Whatever.
We're not in the elites. We're not in.
Welcome to Sergeant Slummer's Slummer House.
Tune in or don't.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Links are in the description of people that are better. But in all seriousness, there are links in the description that you guys should definitely check out. And thank you, Chat Champion Classified, for continuing to do what a Chat Champion does. Chasing 80s Toys is also in there. Definitely check them out too. You see Scuba Pete on there quite a bit. And we're having Chris Miwa on the channel for Mo Tuesday coming up this Tuesday. Now, he's another guy that sent me a lot of photos, almost as many as TJC did. All right, TJC, let's get into your photos, my man.
Fateful day for Pete, that one, I think.
Yep. Got it right here. Made it home safe and sound.
Nice. I'll see if I can bring you out. It's a bit blurry, but let's.
Oop. There we go.
Trust me when I say there's definitely something there, guys. Trust me. There it is. Ah, legendary.
Yep. I'm like, so Lester Vintage does, Facebook sales. And I picked up the Action Force headquarters. Now, there was a caveat. It was UK pickup only, to which I said, that's not a problem.
Yeah. That's why you made the trip to begin with, wasn't it? Admit it.
Right. Just to pick up the Z Force headquarters. But
that's right.
I was so glad that I had that because I'm like, I had no idea that Bob was going to be there. And I'm like, what am I going to have him sign? And I was like, the heli base. And Vintage Toy Rush Dave was the same way because he bought the Action Force headquarters, the cardboard headquarters. And as we all were behind Dave because he was trying to decide, and it was boxed. So he's looking at it hard at the counter and he's, and we're all like, just do it. In his ear, like, you'll never regret this moment, So he was so glad that he had purchased that because that's what he had Bob sign at the end of the tour.
And obviously, big thanks to Dave for being the only one with a Sharpie pen.
Yeah.
Oh, good on him. Well done, Dave. Brilliant. That's exactly the type of stupid thing I would do too, is show up without the necessary equipment.
Yeah, it was like, we need something, anything.
We need a pen.
Need a pen. Sign it in blood.
So yeah, just step on
like,
it.
here, I'll bleed for you, Bob.
Leave a footprint on it. What is this place?
I can't remember what order they were built in, Pete. Was it? I think this was.
Just a random building.
This is the one where people were actually questioning the bricks being all in a line until they realised they were tiles.
Oh, Wait, that's tiles on the outside?
Yeah, in between the windows, that's all
Mhm.
tiled. Yeah, I think that
Yeah,
was the
so
last
it's-
part of the factory built, wasn't it?
Yeah, this is definitely part of the Palitoy factory. It's now been repurposed into an awesome like community center. You can go do yoga or have a presentation there. I mean, there's a lot happening in this factory area now, which is really cool.
What's a fernie?
Or Darren asked.
Fernie House. I can't
Yeah.
remember. I know Bob would probably hit me because I'm sure he told us who Fernie was, but
Oh, it's a person.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
because you have the Simpson building just across the way.
Right.
Uh,
All right. So it's
Yep.
named after somebody of importance. I will definitely look that up. That sounds like homework, but I'll do it anyway. That's cool.
the Colville Tower Clock.
Yeah, I had to take a picture of that.
Save
I
the
think I've
clock
set my
tower.
time wrong.
That's right. Save the clock tower.
Thank you, Classified, throwing in TJC's Toy Memory channel. Definitely check that out. He's got some awesome gaming stuff on there at the moment. If you want to see how you land a helicopter, definitely go check out that one. I don't know how to do it, but he does it in an interesting way. Check it out. So whereabouts is this clock?
That's right in the centre, isn't it?
Yep.
Just round the
City
corner from
center,
where the
Colville.
where the just round the corner from where the Palitoy factory was.
Mm-hmm.
This clock tower is also it's just across the road from the Colville CAN, which is the building where they held the Palitoy exhibition back in November. So it was quite a central location and quite near where we had the show last year.
Look at that.
Uh-huh.
Looks like he's about to break into an epic dance-off.
That's a smooth hat.
He is a
Isn't
smooth
it?
operator. Oh yeah, he's very dapper. So
Very
good.
much so.
I hope I look as cool when I get to that age. Here we are.
Amongst two legends, what can you ask for, eh?
That was the morning we had to say goodbye and move on with our travels.
Yeah.
But not after. I mean, first we had a full English breakfast,
For
which
English
is
breakfast,
also a
yeah.
new addiction.
And your black pudding.
And my black pudding. Oh, so good.
So what
Marmite-
constitutes as a full English breakfast?
A full English breakfast. So rasher bacon, very thick cut bacon, scrambled eggs, tomatoes, mushrooms, black pudding, toast, and beans.
And sausage.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. And some nice sausage. Oh.
That would probably kill me if I tried to eat one of them.
I had it many days in a row, no matter where we are. I was like, oh, is that full English breakfast? Why, don't mind if I do. But
Look
yeah,
at this
black
happy snap. This is like mum and dad have taken their son out for a trip. It's like,
He's
take
off
a
to
photo.
university.
He's off for his first day of school.
The only worrying thing about that is, Hazel, they both look younger than me.
Right. Well, yeah. I don't mean they look like your mum and dad. I'm just saying I've taken many a photo like this with my kids, and they're always got that sort of half smile going on. It's like, smile for the camera, bigger smile, and it's like, no, I don't want to. But look, it's,
see,
I just want to.
Sorry, go ahead.
I just want to point out that I'm wearing shorts. I wore shorts like a proper Northerner every day, no matter where we were. Rain or shine.
I'll wear shorts to Joe Fest in your honor, Pete. We can
Nice.
both wear shorts.
Oh yeah, you'll be glad you did, Augusta,
I'll do-
in the heat. Oh man,
I might wear a an Aussie Speedo instead then. They might not let me in.
They're saying that's cosplay we don't want to be seeing.
They don't call them budgie smugglers for nothing. Now, who is this being held up? Here's another picture for talking
Nick.
about mum and dad.
That's Nick. He likes to have a bit of a cuddle before he goes off to bed, like any good lad. So I'm like, bring it in.
Bring
Well,
it in,
when you
lock
said
it-
you were a
lock it
hugger, I
in,
didn't realize you meant to this extent.
I like you can see all the empty Doom Bar beer bottles. I mean, that table was littered with them.
That is cool. I like some of the brickworks being moved from one place to the other there. They're like, no, we don't like it on the side here. We're going to add it to the center over here instead.
It's Tetris.
Is that what it is?
Stylish.
Or is that tiles?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we had pretty much the whole entire room to ourselves.
Yeah, there was really not much going on. The gal up front that would, check you in at the hotel was also your bartender, which was pretty awesome. So,
Oh, that is cool. Double duty.
Surface-
She might not think it's as awesome having to do two jobs.
right,
but
yeah.
Have you noticed that you can see how big Scuba Pete is? Because this is a full-grown man in his arms, and he's still the baby. Also, if you notice on the previous photograph, he's stooping over ever so slightly, just a little bit stooping over. He's still taller than TJC.
Yeah.
And if you notice, he's got a really, really long arm that reaches around both of them.
Never actually looked at that thing.
That's like that's a shabby arm.
That's it. Now, when you get to see Chabby next, you need to have an arm off.
An arm off.
That's a whole different thing,
It's
mate.
going to happen this summer. Shabby Con
All right,
2023.
we need to recreate this at Joe Fest.
We can do
Mrs.
this.
Scuba Pete, if you could take the photo, I'll look just as happy, believe me.
Oh, yeah. It's going to happen.
The scuba stretch. It's a shabby arm, not too shabby. Now look at this.
Yeah.
Ah, Mr. Alan Dawson there in the middle.
Alan Dawson there, yeah.
That was so cool. Action Man Road.
Now
Only
imagine
one.
living there.
Right?
Number 1, Action Man Road. Action Man. Where do you live? Action Man.
What was
All right.
hilarious was, a couple cars went by while we were doing all this, and they were just like, oh, whatever.
No, not another bunch. Yeah.
There was a lady in that car going, that's Scuba Pete. I don't know who he is, but he's famous.
It was a lady from the restaurant. I told you.
He's famous. He's Scubs.
Infamous. But yeah, this is just right by some apartments, We're just in the little
That's just
common
around the
area.
corner from the factory.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, just
this,
5-minute walk.
as cool as this sign is, there's a sign that was stalker. There was another sign which I thought was even better. Oh, here we go. Forget the Big Show or Andre the Giant. Scuba Pete.
There we go.
Hey, Chris.
More like Super Pete. He is huge. This sign is arguably just as cool, if not cooler.
So cool.
They had to fight for that as well, and they actually
Yeah, that was not like a just
that was not
foregone
an easy
conclusion.
Thing to get. That was not an easy film thing for them to get at all.
Yep. When Bob started talking about that, I mean, he already it constantly has a gleam in his eye. When he started talking about that sign, he's proud as punch, and rightfully so.
I think so. It's a great looking sign. Palitoy manufactured toys on this site between 1937 and 1985. That's a big stretch, really. When you consider how much they were able to get in that amount of time. Famous for Action Man, Tiny Tears, Tressie, Mainline Railways, and Star Wars toys. That's your big seller between Action Man and Star Wars toys.
Someone graffitied it afterwards. Underneath where it says Star Wars, it just said ruined.
Ruined. I wonder who did that, Space Commander.
we didn't find out. Almost.
Nobody knows. Oh, there's the Simpsons building.
Yep.
It's a Simpson building, yeah.
So TJC, when you sent me these photos, I tried to upload them in order that you sent them. So if they're out of order, you're out of order. This whole anyway,
we can roll with it.
We can roll with it. Yeah, they probably went out of order because you wanted them emailed to you, and emails is just like limited on how many you can send at a time, can't you?
Mate, I'm not blaming you, buddy. It's my fault if anything.
So I'll take it. I'll take it.
It's my fault. I'm just saying that they may not be in order, but emailing the photos make them clearer than just taking them off of Messenger. From my experience, and we already have internet issues. Let's not make it also photo problems. So the Simpsons building, not named after the Simpsons, but probably someone of importance that I'm not aware of.
Bob Simpson, if my
who was
memory
Bob
serves
Simpson?
correct.
Bob Simpson,
Yeah. See, marketing.
He was the one who turned it around, wasn't he? He turned the business around pretty substantially. And then I think from what Bob was saying, I think when it changed hands and someone else bought it, then he went as well as a lot of the other ones went with him.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And this is just the back end of that.
So, yeah, you're showing kind of the back end of this building. One of the interesting tidbits that Bob told us is really none of those buildings should have been there after World War II, because just to the right where the neighborhood starts, a massive shell, a bomb was dropped by the Germans, and it never went off. And they found it buried 30 feet under. And so if you had taken like the normal blast radius of that weapon, none of that would have been there.
That'd have taken all that out. That'd have been gone.
Yep.
That's a crazy bit of history.
Incredible.
Skilled by the legend. There he is.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that you've gone in order of height.
Yep, that's
damn. He looks cool, doesn't he? Look cool. Just he's holding court. He's telling his tales, but he's got the cool shades and the hat. I've never seen anyone so cool in my life.
Well, he actually, when we first got there, he walked obviously from around the corner to where he parked his car, and he came walking around. And he said, "Where do you want me to start?" I said, "Well, we've got to start at the beginning," and he actually did.
He did, yeah, with Castleloyd and what they manufactured
right
first.
from when they first started, how it all first started, who bought them out, who changed this, who supplied it. That was right from the beginning. Just laid it all out like he'd just done it yesterday.
Oh, good on him.
Started with the Castleloid pinwheels, the little windmills. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember those. I had hours of fun on that until it was no longer on the stick. Yep. And then you just got a stick. Nothing wrong with a good stick. Great legs, by the way, Pete. I don't know if I've mentioned that yet, but great legs.
Why, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is just around the other side of the Fernie building.
Yeah. Gotcha.
It's more of the
what I like about this
marketing.
To anybody else, you show them this photo and they just think, well, it's just some old factory. But to us Action Force nerds, it's like, no, man,
it's holy ground.
This is, yeah. And they don't build buildings like that anymore.
Everything does start. Yep.
Tell you what, you can take up a lot of space when you just go, you know what, we don't need a wall. Let's just put a whole bunch of windows in the front. It's already just tile anyway.
And I forget, somebody ended up handing me a stone off the ground, and they were like, here, keep this. And I was like, oh.
That was Nick.
Nick
handed you
was that Nick that did? Yeah, I put it in my pocket because I was like, this is a holy rock.
This is a holy rock from this. That's a moon rock, wasn't it? A moon rock from Palitoy.
Yes, that's right.
Fun fact: Highlanders cannot fight in there. Holy ground. Yep, fair enough. Right.
It's true, Adam. Yeah.
Look at that. You would have thought they manufactured windows with the amount of windows they've got there.
And if you look at the far corner, that's Bob just first walking around the corner.
Yep.
They just parked his car.
Tell you what, standing in front of all those windows and picking up a rock, I mean, was it tempting?
Let's visit Palitoy and get arrested. Yeah, let's have fun.
Must resist. Yeah, the scope of it, you can't really tell the scope of the buildings until you get it like the right angle on it. Not the right angle.
This is
but
we're
right
in the car park, which is kind of like, surrounded by the factory. With just on the far left, that's where you could, drive in and park your car. But yeah, you're really in the center of it all there.
Well, where the cars are parked now, there used to actually be buildings there as well, from what you're saying, didn't there?
Yeah, stick structure, like wood huts. He said, from back in the day. Yep,
where the cars are there was actual sort of buildings in the middle as well.
Yeah, he said that was more of the, if I remember right, that was kind of like the start of the offices. Like, hey, we have manufacturing going on in the real building. These huts, this is where we're, the executive.
Basically, as you went around the factory as well, Bob was saying, well, my first office was here, and then we got a bit further around, then we moved over to here, then they built this, then we moved over there. He just knew everywhere, every single place. He was pointing out his entire history there.
Yeah. Where they did a bunch of designing. He pointed down to the boiler room. This is where we did a lot of our designing, in the boiler room, where there was, space. And we're like, what?
That's a good use of space, I suppose. So, look, I know as nerds, collectively, the bunch of us here, we love and appreciate the history of our toys, not just the toys themselves, but with some hesitation, I must say that we're now going into the building. So those of you that are super into buildings, this was our last shot of the buildings. We're now going to go look at toys. So thank you for...
Yeah.
He's only into the buildings. He likes a good structure. Now
we're back at Lester Vintage.
Yeah.
Now,
like I said, to the roof with treasure.
Literally, yeah. I mean, one thing you did notice when you walked in there, obviously you had your main sort of toy lines you'd always recognise, obviously, that you still remember. But you'd walk around and you'd think, I swear I had one of them. And there was like what you'd call like a knockoff maybe, but they'd be like on there as well. And you obviously remembered half of them that you'd forgot about. And they had all of those as well.
Yeah.
Adam makes a good point about Walmart. We've been looking at walls, but go to Walmart for our toys. See, you are funny, Adam. I don't care what people say. We have nothing cool like this here. Well, we're here and we're cool. Just a shout out to Classified, who's a Patreon member. And Patreon members, this extends to you too, Pete, when I get to see you at Joe Fest, as a Patreon supporter. I shouted a beer. Well, it wasn't a beer for Classified. I bought myself a beer, but also a drink for Classified. And that's part of the perks. If you are a Patreon member, first round's on me. So, Pete, when I see you at the pub, first round's on me.
Awesome. We're going to do
Maybe even the second round.
Third and fourth.
Hey, Ozzy, what do you got there? Solo. Do-whoop.
I didn't actually buy this there. It just reminded me, because in that photograph, almost as high as the ceiling, there's a box with Megadons written on it.
Yes.
And it was kind of a very small range of toys that came out in the 80s. But they kind of like Master of the Universe was doing, and Action Force, where they would reuse the same parts over again, but with a different color scheme. They made these mechanical dinosaurs, which actually wind up.
Cool.
And it had a seat here at the back, which was big enough for a Masters of the Universe figure, but also another little seat at the front that was big enough for an Action Force, G.I. Joe, Star Wars kind of figure. So it was clever. They were aiming at both markets for the size of the action figures.
Yeah,
and the only difference was that the body would be a different color, and then the whole front section would come off, and they had one that looked like a Triceratops and one that looked like a Diplodocus, something like that. And it was just this front bit was the only difference, and the color of the plastic. So again, there was a very clever reuse of the mold. But yeah, I thought it was interesting how they purposefully made it so that it would fit the two most popular sizes of action figures back in the 80s.
That is so cool. Also,
And
I
what-
refuse to call it Diplodocus. It's Diplodocus or nothing.
Diplodocus.
what was the name of that toy line?
Megadons.
Megadons.
Yeah, there's a box
Make-
there.
yeah. Make sure you spell it very correctly.
Yes,
because
I
if you
was
get
like,
it wrong-
I'm like, the front's removable. Ring a ding ding.
You might get a different thing in the mail. So I can't really tell from here, but I can see on the Megadons box there that they do have 2 different scales of action figures. Did they have an action figure line as well, or are they just showing 2 random toys in there?
Yeah, it was. They just did the dinosaurs, the vehicles.
Right.
I think they kind of cleverly thought, we don't need to market action figures. The kids will already have action figures from other ranges.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
on the box, they were sure to advertise them with a very He-Man looking figure at the back and a very Star Wars looking figure at the front. I suspect that they were modified to sort of dodge copyright, but they were probably from those ranges to begin with. I'm just guessing though, I'm not sure.
Smart.
Classified just throwing in any old link in the chat. We appreciate it. Treasures for Trigger is a great channel. Definitely sub to them too. Like really going for champion status here for Chat Champion. Thank you, Classified.
Heck yeah.
If you think of anything in that, I mean, we got Aussie in the chat. Throw Aussie's link in there. Happy Payne's toy samples. Throw his in there. That's how everyone's in there. Everyone gets a link.
It's
Thanks,
Subapalooza.
So I like that there's a mix of modern toys here and some vintage stuff too. You can see the Hulkbuster, a modern-ish Superman, and then classic the robots. And some Transformers back there. This almost looks like Ken's toy room.
It does have that feel to it.
Oh, here we are again. I've definitely gone out of order. So we've got a sneaky thumbs up. Someone's given a sneaky thumbs up at the bottom there and adding to the thumbs up from these 2 guys. Looking good. And a food menu. Oh, brilliant too.
Great food.
All right, that's just another sneaky shot before we look at more toys. Hey, that's Count Duckula mask at the bottom there.
Yeah, and then you got the Starcom sort of spaceships and figures and that.
Yeah, their Starcom offering of carded and boxed. It was like, oh my gosh. Like I wanted to wipe out that whole shelf, and it's like, no.
First day, no, calm yourself.
I see some. What are they? Trading cards or bubble gum?
Yeah, wax packs. Yep.
Wax
Doom.
packs.
Yeah, wax packs, yeah.
Wax packs. Yep.
Gotta get me them wax packs. Voltron, maybe? WCW little handheld game. Captain Planet, yep. And
Oh yeah.
what was that Bucky O'Hare? Is that the bunny?
Back
think
the
so.
other way, yeah.
DuckTales. Woohoo. Some Centurions in there, some Halloween. Oh, I can see why you'd need to do a few rounds because you couldn't absorb all of this in one hit.
No, that was
Oh
just,
no way.
Here's
And
another
they
look at
were,
that.
for as busy as it was with all of us crammed in there, they were on their own. Like they were doing a brisk business on a Monday, late morning, just random people coming in and a couple families, and yeah, they do well there.
Ooh, Incredible Hulk mini statue. How do you have a mini statue of the Incredible Hulk? Every Hulk statue is a maxi statue. Oh, look, I've definitely got these out of order. Sorry, TJC. I'm sorry. We're back at the restaurant.
We're back at the
Funky work looking at all these toys, but I keep popping
Right.
back.
Unless you guys did just leave periodically to go and get more food, then I've definitely got this out of order.
Time to tank up again.
yeah. Another pint.
So, Chat Champion Classified is dropping these links in the chat. Do me a favor and click on these links and hit subscribe to them. It is of my opinion that if you hit this link, you won't leave the show. You'll just be able to go and hit subscribe. If I'm wrong, let me know because I could be wrong. That was always my opinion of the situation is that if you hit it, you wouldn't leave the show necessarily. You'd just be able to hit subscribe by going to that channel. You still be able to hear us and see us and all of that cool stuff.
You are correct.
Brilliant. Vintage
Hey,
toy.
Dave.
Run.
Dave's here, yeah.
And Oz. What's up, fellas?
As much as Cheech and Chong would say
And
otherwise,
Camilla.
Dave is here.
And Camilla, the lovely Camilla.
Yeah, lovely Camilla, yeah.
I knew someone like this. Ozzy, it's larger on the inside, like a the Doctor Who
TARDIS.
The TARDIS,
that's
yeah.
the TARDIS.
All right, back to.
Oh yeah, here we go. So that's their checkout counter, as it were. You know, where you bring your spoils.
And you got to say, all the staff there, obviously not just Joe, but all the staff there, they couldn't have been any more helpful. And so, you know, anything you needed, they'd be straight there for you. And
Dave's
you
head.
can't argue.
And Camilla, right at the very bottom.
Oh, see, that's how I would be in every photo. Right there at the very bottom, just little noggin popping up at the top.
She's
So
my favorite
Dave,
Swede.
this is the Dave that brought the pen, right?
That's Dave with the pen. Yes, that's Dave.
Dave with the pen. Dave, you're a genius. Bring in a pen. Genius. It's so easy to forget those sort of things, but you got it. Sylvester up in the ceiling there. That's pretty cool.
Yep. And when they do, usually on Mondays, Lester Vintage goes live for a little bit. They're usually right in that corner where Dave and Camilla are when you see that on the screen. So you'll hear the phone ring because the phone's right there. The computer's right there. So Space Commander, I'm taking it that on the left-hand side there, you're not too impressed with the what's on the shelf. Yes,
What have we got over on the left?
Jar Jar.
Jar Jar.
Oh, Jar Jar. No, I mean, after the absolute mess they made of the sequels, I think Jar Jar is more than welcome.
Oh, good.
Right? Yeah.
I'd happily sit through the entire prequel trilogy ad infinitum rather than watch that garbage that Disney put out. I should rein in my opinion before I go into a rant.
Well, Ahmed Best came back.
Disclaimer at the bottom. Disclaimer at the bottom. It's just his views, not the channel's.
Oh, right, yeah. But Ahmed Best came back as a Jedi recently in the Mandalorian show. He got another go at it. But I never really had a problem with Jar Jar Binks anyway. I think, I don't know, people just like to scream and shout about things that don't really matter. But speaking of things that do matter, Monsters in My Pocket. I can see on the top there a little display. Yeah. I loved that line. I loved it.
And that's the, if I remember right, that's the one they picked up when they were in Italy. When they were doing Toy Shop on Tour.
That's right, yeah.
And you can get your Toy Shop on Tour shirts. You know, they got swag.
Yes.
Yeah, my boy got 2. One from Pete.
Oh, good on you, Pete.
I had to.
Oh,
So
I'm afraid I didn't get TJC Jr. a T-shirt, but I did get him a little something.
He's got a badge, yeah. He's got a Space Commander badge.
Oh, cool.
We all did. We got Commander swag.
Yeah, I had to have it.
It's cool.
Okay, we're going through. Now, is that on the bottom? Is that mask a battle beast?
I think so, yeah.
Yes.
It really looks like, with the eye patch.
I see some Street Fighter G.I. Joe. Yeah, it looks like Ken to me. And Sagat.
Some Centurions.
James Bond.
Yeah, DB5, Batmobile.
2 of the best Batmobiles.
A-Team van.
Yeah. A-Team van, yeah.
I think if you've got these 2 Batmobiles, you don't need any more.
You've got it covered.
Very true, yeah.
Yep, done.
Great
Over.
mix of Last Action Hero in there. A Hook. I see some Hook in there. Now, look at that. That is Ken Poe-worthy collection of Transformers right there.
Oh, happy birthday, Ken. I think it was Ken's birthday just recently.
It was?
It was?
I think so. I'll give him a space salute just in case.
Unless you're very, very late.
It's possible.
Or you're very, very early for the next one. Happy birthday, Ken. Let us know when your birthday was or is.
Oh, I think it's his birthday this year.
Yeah.
It's right around the corner.
I feel like I would have remembered if it was Ken's birthday.
I might be wrong. It might have been a different Ken.
Any Ken watching, if it happens to be your birthday, happy birthday for then, now, and always into the future as well as the past. Happy birthday for all of them, including the original one. So I think, unless I'm mistaken, there is some movie. There's definitely some movie stuff in there. I thought I saw a GoBot, but I might be wrong.
There is some GoBots in there as well.
They had GoBots, all right. I brought some home.
Ah, cool. Have you got some show and tell?
I have.
We'll get to that if we get through this encyclopedia of awesomeness.
Yeah, I've got a few too.
Oh, nice. All right, we'll keep moving through. Some more. When you think you couldn't possibly get any more Transformers, you got more.
Yeah,
How
they're
cool.
A lot of Transformers.
Having Optimus Prime and having Ultra Magnus both in truck form on opposite ends. That's just brilliant stuff.
And then Rodimus Prime in the middle.
Yeah, give him a chance, guys. Come on. Hey, it's Playtime Wrestling Federation. Yeah. So Pericles, Dragon Ball Z. Sorry I'm late. Hey, buddy, it's all good. You're never late. You show up precisely when whatever the rest of the line is. Great Transformer collection there. We're back at Starcom. On the wrestling is up the top there. I missed this on the first rotation. Okay, so that's where Sarge is, and a lot of the other Hasbros. Isn't it funny that Sarge left wrestling to go to Hasbro because they were with LJN, and then at the end they were like, you know what, let's go with Hasbro after all.
Yeah,
idiots. Bloody idiots. I don't know what the boxer is, but I'm going to have to look that up because that looks like an interesting card in the back there. Not sure what it is, but the card looks cool. More Transformers because I've got these pictures out of order. But there's the bottom end of that. We've got some Scorponok. There he is. He arrived precisely when he intended to, Zazel. Correct, Mondo.
Yeah, looser box. They had you covered. Oh,
what have I done? I've overskipped. All right. Well, we've got some movie-related action figures. Oh, Double Dragon. I didn't know they had action figures of Double Dragon.
so Sin City.
Sin City. I think I just spat at my computer when I said that.
Yeah. Oh,
ooh. What? This is the Mighty Machine Men. We call it Mighty Machine Men in Australia. GoBots everywhere else.
No, Robo Machine over here. They
Robo
started out
Machine.
with Machine Robo in Japan.
Yeah.
And the Takara toys that Transformers were based on, they sort of began in the 70s. But in terms of coming to the West, Machine Robo came to the West before Transformers did. And here in the UK, they were just called Robo Machine. They took the words and spun them around to make them more anglicized. Robo Machine. And they just had a basic name like that had the serial number there, R28, and just Jeep.
Yep.
And then
what more do you need?
When GoBots started to take off, they then still had the Robo Machine card back, but now they would start to add the names that were used in the GoBots instead of just the serial number and a little description.
wicked.
Then they started to add the GoBots logo in the corner, so it's still Robo Machine GoBots, and then eventually,
but wait, there's more.
They went full blown GoBots.
Look at collection flexing with everything on card. I love it.
And then
I just happen to have a few samples.
In the 90s, they then re-released many of them back on the old Robo Machine card.
Get out of town.
So
Now, if I talk about another toy line, will you have a bunch of those to pull up on the screen as well, or
depends. I've got a whole lot of Barbie. I've got a whole lot of Barbie dolls back there.
So Vintage Toy Rush says, I went hard on the mask shelf, got a T-Bob and Scott. Now, I don't want you to clarify what you mean exactly there, but I can understand as a collector what you mean, buddy. I get it. I would have also.
I'm with it. Dave got T-Bob and Scott, and where there is just kind of empty glass there.
Yeah.
There was the VW Bug, the detonator, and that was one of the things I picked up.
Completely. Oh, nice.
Yeah. Which was on one of my last rounds. I was like, I forgot.
Yeah. So there was many rounds.
many rounds.
Of beers and toys.
That would have been great if they had a tap where you're just like,
Yeah. Perfect. That same lady follows you around pouring a beer from the...
Can I get you another? Yes.
Space Commander, I'm going to have to try and find you open. Space Commander, I'll try and find you a have I shown this one yet? Anyway, we'll go through it. I'll have to try and find you a Machine Man carded figure. I don't know how or where or whatever, but I'll figure it out. Mighty Machine Man. I see some A-Team. I see some Mr. T. I see some Hulk Hogan, Megazords. Good stuff. All good stuff. This is the other side of that other picture that we saw before. Some loose figures. Is this some superhero stuff? Superpowers?
Yep, superpowers.
Duke Kaboom! If you've got a name like Duke Kaboom, you can't just say, hi, my name's Duke Kaboom. You go, hi, my name's Duke Kaboom!
Duke Kaboom, eh?
That's a big dinosaur.
Yeah, they got a nice window display for sure.
So
I'll let you know you're in the right.
Oh, what do we got here, Space Commander?
Off that rack you were just showing.
Yeah. Show us your rack.
They had the Z-Force Lance.
Oh, nice.
I believe in America it was called the Pack Rat, I think.
Correct. You are correct.
It is. But yeah, they had the Lance there. And at first I wasn't sure because, you know, the little attachments, they weren't all on it. So at first looking at it, I kind of thought, oh, maybe it's not all there. But then I noticed they were underneath the wheels. So you got the instructions there, all the attachments, and it even includes the bit that always gets lost.
The controller.
The little tiny controller.
Yes.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
But it was all included, so I picked it up.
Now, I think Space Commander was intentionally blocking that, so when I came into the store, I didn't see it, so he could pick it up because he knew I would suck it up like a Hoover vacuum. Like, well, don't. Hey, good to see you, Scuba. What? Hey, look over there. There's some. Look at all the action force over there. Take this.
Go run. Go.
Yeah, they had a lot of really wonderful action force stuff. A lot of it still in the original box, and we had to buy new. You know, when I go to work in the morning, I take the Cosmic Cruiser. If we're going to Mars or you know, Mercury or whatever, but my Cosmic Cruiser conked out over the Christmas period, and I had to get a new one. There we are. So the missus and I, we're currently paying off the new Cosmic Cruiser that I ride to work in. So a lot of the Action Force stuff that I would have loved to have bought, I've got other priorities. I have to pay off that Cosmic Cruiser. But
adulting.
I wasn't. Yeah, you have to do grown-up stuff. But I wasn't going to leave that shop without buying something Action Force, and so I picked up the Z-Force Lance.
That is cool. Hey, Jay. Good to see you.
In like every bit of Palitoy, they did the stickering on that so much better than what Hasbro did here in the States. I mean, it makes it just that much more flashy and appealing. I'm perpetually blown away by their sticker apps. Good stuff.
So we've got some Marvel Legends in the corner, and we've got some Motu in the glass cabinet. Some modern stuff, modern-ish. I guess. I mean, how many years have to go by before it's not modern anymore? But that was the classics era. Mm-hmm. Now this is cool.
Fortress of Dragons.
Very cool. That would fit right in with Masters of the Universe, and probably fits in very well with Dungeons and Dragons, which is what it's designed for.
And now I see a couple of the monsters I forgot to snarf up.
Oh, Space Commander must have been standing in front of it. Oops, sneaky digit in the corner there. Oh, don't say it that way, Zazel.
Sneaky digit.
Don't say it that way.
Megadon.
Something's Megadon. So that we got a couple of Motus in there as well from the is that from the original line from the looks of it. Is it? Or is it classics ones? Or origins? My old man eyes are failing me now.
That's origins. Those are
origins.
Yeah.
But that in the center there, you can see the Statue of Liberty head from the X-Men. I had that on display for my GI Joes for so long when that thing came out. My brother Todd, shout out. How are you, Todd? He got me this for like a Christmas or a birthday or something. And I was like, this is perfect for that GI Joe the movie. Yeah, just have them all stand around the Statue of Liberty's head.
Yeah, I love
they didn't bring out. Go on, Pete.
The pirate Lego set from back in the day. It's like, what? And they're again, all their boxes, they're not like, okay, that's fair. Like they look like you just pulled them off the shelf. On the far left up top is the Darkseid's destroyer from Kenner Superpowers. Again, in a just minty box.
Mint box, yeah.
Nuts.
Damn, they look cool. Look at all of that stuff. Like, how do they have so much stuff and yet it's still all displayed in a neat fashion? I can't even keep my simple action figures in any good shape because they're always all over the place. I've got too many and not a lot at the same time. And these guys are doing it well. So shout out to you guys for having a very well presented store.
I mean, it's brilliant marketing. I mean, one, to have the stool for Space Commander to get on so he can actually see into the displays. But that's not what I was talking about. They had those little they had those little bins, full of just kind of cheap grab toys, which is smart because when the little half pints come in, they're like, boom, right to it, right? How many times do we see a kid come in and it boom right to those bins and they're like, can I get this truck? Good stuff.
Yeah, it is smart. Hey, Phil. Dad, how come your toy costs $100, but I'm getting $1 plastic toy?
Right. Can't I get 100?
Can I also get 100? Give me 100, Dad. I can see a Rolling Thunder there. No hubcaps by the looks of it. Those things are very hard.
And there's a boxed Fort Carrium up there.
Yeah, Fort Carrium.
There is? Oh, right up
from
there.
Brave Star.
Yeah, nice. Oh, and the other thing, the other set, the side on one, or is that, what is it called there? Is it also Fort Carrium but different? There's two different boxes, but they look different. So the very left-hand side is Fort Carrium, and then you've got the little one underneath where it says Daredevil on the mask thing, and it also says Fort Carrium.
Yeah, because it's the extension of the street.
Oh, okay.
Yep. In the Karate
Kid. Oh. Nice.
Karate Kid set, yeah.
It was like Grail.
Yeah. You may as well just move in there.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, look at the Mad Balls on card. Yeah, that's a better shot of it. It's just nuts. And the Crystar, that's a blast from the past. I loved Crystar.
Every time you walk past the Karate Kid playset, it says, "Buy me."
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's another look at them. TJC, thank you for taking all these photos.
I was happy to. I didn't want to come out of the shop.
Mate, is that the Golden Girls? Is that the Golden Girls?
Right after the Golden Girls. Oh, yeah.
If you go back to that other one, Zazel, if you go back to that, you see there's a load of posters in the corner of Indiana Jones?
Yes.
They've got
That's
all
pretty
sorts
cool.
of things like that, which is loads of coiled up, still rolled up posters from like what you normally have on the
And
side.
they're free. They're free
Right?
Indiana Jones posters.
I know.
They're
They're probably
free.
not free now.
So we're looking at some Ninja Turtles here. Oh,
Yeah, you're not talking one van, you're talking two. Like, there you go.
Party Wagon. Some $6 million man. I almost dropped him by $5 million. $6 million man. I'm trying to see what's on the other side there. I can't.
There was.
Oh, Lord of the Rings.
Is that Buck Rogers?
Yeah, Buck Rogers. He's got his
Rogers.
face discoloring like all good Migos.
Way to go, Buck. I think
And
he's
that's
standing
where-
next to the SAS commander from Action Force.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, from Action Man.
from Action Man and Alan Dawson, because there were two, and now the one that was in front, I was like, Alan, help me out. I'm in new territory. I want to purchase an Action Man, and Alan just went in. Oh, let's see, the webbing belt, that's not right on this one that I have, and his boots don't match. But he's like, get this one instead, because on the gas mask it had both the filters for it. I mean,
filters, yeah.
Alan's Action Man knowledge is redonkulous.
Very much so.
That's really cool that when you get a bunch of people together, everyone has their own sort of niche, and you can help each other out that way. Like if you don't know something, someone does.
Right?
Some Ghostbusters. Oh, some
Action Force. There's your Action Force grails in the corner there.
They have
free Indiana Jones posters.
They've got 3 Sky Strikers.
Yeah.
3
Action Force Sky Strikers, yeah.
And there's the headquarters box that Dave bought. They had to like take it out like a Tetris, like undoing Tetris to get to it. It was hilarious.
Was it in there, or was it just the box?
No, it was in there.
It's a fully boxed original. Yeah, full set.
That's
everything.
so cool.
And
I mean, in the middle there, they've got the original Action Force HQ, and it's in a box, and it looks like it was, it came out the factory yesterday.
Yeah.
That box is like 40 years old.
And Bob, when he signed it for Dave, he actually said, we didn't really think this through very well because we put the instructions on the bottom of the headquarters. So as you're building it, you have to keep turning it over to see what the next bit is.
That's just part of the fun. So Phil's asking, hey, Phil, thanks for dropping in, Phil. Chat Champion Classified did throw your link in the chat. So good on you, Chat Classified, Chat Champion Classified. I'm just tripping over my own words now. So many toys, I'm tripping over my own words. So Phil's asking, Pete, was stuff priced the same as the US?
For things like Action Force, Doctor Who, those more British side of life, way better than anything in the States. Because you take an Action Force boxed anything to the States, and it just gets inflated 3-4 times the price. Yep.
Plus, so there's probably a bit of a difference because it's pounds and dollars, right? So it's not priced the same. You're not going to see $5. You'll see £5.
You'll see £5, but even with the exchange rate, it's like $1.20 US to a pound. So it wasn't horrible. Of course.
There you go, Zazel. He just said that's how mint that was.
Wow, that's so cool. Never folded. Awesome. Did you fold it? Tell me if you folded it.
Dave's going to have to figure out where he's going to display that. We stayed with them for several days, which was awesome. And I got the personalized tour of his toy room, and it is phenomenal. But yeah, he needs an expansion desperately. He's every little space, he's got something tucked. It was great.
And you even saw the Mark 1.
Yes. You know it.
What doesn't it have? I don't know.
Right?
Let's do what Pete does and do a deeper dive. So we've got some Lego. We've got some more Marvel over at the top there. What's that weapon on the left-hand side there?
I forget. I've actually got that down at the toy mall too. I can't remember the name that's on the stock.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Johnny 6?
It may very well be.
I don't. I'm just making up words as I go now.
Like Johnny, any good 80s weapon, before the whole orange tips and all that. I mean, everything launches off of that. It's cool.
I bet you the next photo will have a close up of that, and it'll answer all our questions. I was going to display it, but not anymore. Get a beta card. I mean, I imagine a beta set of card would still be pretty pricey. A beta set of card would be pretty pricey. Say that over and over again. Firehouse there, yeah. Top Gun. It isn't the gun. Doctor Who. We're just talking about Doctor Who. Some more A-Team. Oh, so close. It looks like it says Johnny 6. What do I know?
It does look like Johnny 6. It looks like something like that.
I don't know who Johnny 6 is.
Space 1999 at the top.
That's cool. 2001 Space Odyssey. Star Trek even on there before they ruined it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Here's the other side of... I thought it was that. It is. The Lego
Yeah, you've got some
system.
on the right. You got that middle shelf is Micronauts down on the floor of that shelf.
That's pretty cool. Good morning, usual Mike. Thank you for joining us.
Mike.
It's definitely early. I know how you feel, bud. It's not even 8:30 here yet either. But I get up early to hang out with the legends. Because what else would you do on a Sunday morning? There's some more coolness. I see Gizmo, E.T., the extraterrestrial.
Mego Star Trek on card.
Yeah, nice.
Oh.
Yeah. And
Dracula.
Didn't you get some Battlestar Galactica from that cabinet as well?
Did I?
Yeah, you got the stellar probe.
Yes!
I saw it.
Yes, that's what.
So I'm a big fan of the original Battlestar Galactica, including back to 1980. I love the whole thing, and I saw the stellar probe in there, and I thought that is so cool. But as I mentioned previously, in order to get to work every morning, I had to buy a new Cosmic Cruiser recently, and we're still paying it off. And I thought, I'm not even going to ask how much it is. But I was glad to see it go to a good home. Because Scuba Pete
it's going to be paired up with my Viper that I'm looking at right down here. Yep. Good stuff. Oh, so much Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Well, Lego, we're up to the last. Oh, that was it. That was the last one. So I guess it's show and tell time. TJC, thank you so much for taking those photos for us, mate. That's
that was awesome.
Well done, mate.
Thank you. So it's show and tell time. Who's got something to show that we can tell?
Well, what you see behind Pete is all behind him. That's what he bought when he was there.
So I took over my check luggage, so my large bag was literally full of toys to give, and I got gifted quite a few back. So Stu, Universal Toy Collector, gave me the Cosmic Cruiser.
Nice.
Yeah. And he also found me the Jackal. Oh, we're going large. Here we go. Yeah.
Your compatriot is in sleep. So goodbye, Chris. I'll see you Tuesday.
Oh, see you, Chris. So the lasers are the Ram motorcycle cannons that Palitoy said, "Hey, that looks cool. Let's use it in a different way."
Yeah, that is cool.
So good. And then my second, that's the SAS key figure that I picked up from
That's
Lester.
cool.
Yeah. And that's what Alan Dawson helped me with. And then this did not come from Lester Vintage, but it did come from Star Wars Celebration, and it is Palitoy.
Oh,
It's the Palitoy Death Star.
Oh, beautiful.
Yep.
What a beaut.
So, yeah, those were my big heavy hitters.
Nice. What about you, TJC? You got anything you want to show off?
No, not for me. I was didn't really have a lot to me, but I will show these off because obviously the two T-shirts, obviously one from Pete, and one from myself.
Oh, bring it up again. I didn't see it.
Right, there we go.
Please.
That's the Vintage Toy Store.
Nice.
Yeah, they've got a lot of different
then obviously
designs.
Weird stuff.
Weird stuff.
I'm into weird stuff.
So yeah,
Gav's
that's all I got.
catchphrase.
Just something for the boy, really. And then he got to have a chat on the phone with Pete as well, so that made his day. And he ain't stopped talking about it since.
That was great. Yes, we were in the toy shop, and I was getting to talk to him.
You got a little Yoda.
I did. Yes, that was my
toy
first
Yoda.
purchase. A green snake Yoda variant from the Vectis booth. Yeah. Oh yeah. And then I
Space
forgot
Commander,
this.
Space Commander, have you got any show and tell? Oh, you got another one.
I forgot this. There's so much. So Nick, Action Pop Dad, gifted me this Brazilian carded turbocopter action.
Ooh, that's cool. I've never been gifted a Brazilian before, but that's pretty cool.
Very cool. And you see the
nice
Australia trademark up top. But yeah.
Oh, cool.
So that was Colville that night. He brought that out, and I'm like, what? Whoop. And it made it home safe.
I've got to say, we've got to put a mention out to Leslie here, how much of a legend she was. She just repacked all the luggage, and then Pete actually says, "Oh, by the way, Nick Snow just got me this," and she didn't get mad. She said, "Okay, we'll fit it in somewhere,"
and she did.
Nice. What a legend!
She's amazing like that.
I don't know what I'm going to do at Joe Fest. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I don't have a lot of room in my luggage for toys when I go to Joe Fest, but I've got a lot of room in my heart for friends. So I'll be collecting memories, hugs. I might sit on a few laps if Peter will indulge me, and photos and all of those good lasting memories. I may not come back with toys, but I will come back with shorter trousers. All right, Space Commander, what have you got for show and tell?
All right, just bear with me, Mo, because Mrs. Space Commander just sent me an email, and in trying to send it to you, I have completely stuffed up my screen, so I'm not sure where I am at the moment. Oh, there we are. Okay.
He's back.
You know how I am with technology.
Satellites.
Well, this is the Gatling gun that Pete was just talking about.
There we go.
Used that for the Cosmic Cruiser.
Oh, let me bring you up, Solo. Hang on.
Oh.
Whoop.
There we go. There's the Gatling gun.
Oh, that is cool.
To use that as the laser cannon on the side of the Cosmic Cruiser there.
Oh, yeah.
What did I get? You saw the Z-Force Lance earlier. But also, I picked up, as you may have guessed, I picked up some robo machines.
We did guess that. Actually, it wasn't really a guess. You showed us.
This is one of the ones I got. This
helicopter.
In GoBots, he was called Twin Spin.
That's cool.
Well, how many rotors does he have?
He has two. And you might think, well, are you going to keep it on the card or not? Well, I don't have to worry about that, because if there's anything I ever want to open,
yes,
it's got it loose. Yeah.
So I actually, once I had this one, I then unpacked this one. I already had it on card.
Sweet.
And I know some people will say, "Oh man, if you have it carded, you should, you should open it or give it to someone else." Or, at the end of the day, this is my pocket money that I saved up. I worked hard for my money. And if I want to open one of my toys, I will. So there's one that I opened and one that's still on the card.
Someone will open it eventually. It may as well be you.
That's exactly right.
Collect how you want.
With my hard-earned cash, So I also got a little scooter, but Mrs. Space Commander has taken that to give to Father Christmas, so he can wrap that and bring it to me later. But
what does scooter turn into?
I've never been able to figure it out.
I wonder what they changed his name to.
No, they just called him Scooter. So this is one that I uncarded, and the one that I bought in the shop has gone to Father Christmas. And I also got Gunner, who's
nice.
He's the MiG. And,
yeah,
he's often hard to find. So I managed to.
I was going to ask if you got that one.
What did you want to ask, mate?
No, you said that the guy's name was Gunner, and I was like, I was going to ask, but the pun wasn't working, so I just hoped
went over the top there.
But you pulled me out.
Negative Ghost Rider. The pattern is full.
Have you got more?
I'm trying to remember. I think because I got a bunch of stuff all at the same time. You remember I had the package come from Big Bad Toy Store. So I'm trying to remember what stuff I got while I was there and what stuff I've got more recently. But yeah, I think it was the 3 Robo Machines and the Z-Force Lance.
Nice.
I think that was everything.
Yep, I'm hearing you, Largo. I'm hearing you. Check out Largo's lair. I got to hang out on there very recently. Jimbo's a good fella. Yep.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Negative Ghost Rider. The pattern is full.
Have you got more?
What did you want to ask, mate?
So I got those pictures that you sent me, Space Commander. You want me to? I'll just show them on my phone because I'm not sure how I would bring them up otherwise.
No, that's cool. Yeah. In the photo we just saw, where you had the GI Joe Sky Striker, the Action Force Sky Striker, and an unboxed one at the end. In amongst those pictures was the Action Force HQ. So the one I picked up off eBay a while back. Basically, the guy just put the guy who sent it to me just put a little bit of paper around it. That's right. There was no packaging apart from some.
You have got to be kidding me.
So I was fuming because I thought
this is like a very terrible OnlyFans.
Yeah.
It's like smashed boxes. You want to check out my Smashed Box OnlyFans account? Check this one free.
I used to know a girl whose nickname was Smash Box.
Oh God!
But I if I'd have known, I would have paid him more money and say, look, package it properly. Here's some money.
Yeah.
But instead,
put the box in a box, you knob.
Yeah, you can
That's not cool.
No, I was so lucky that the post, the postman or post lady who brought it, I'm lucky that they kept it upright in the back of the van, because if that had gone over in the back of the van, all the little bits would have just been lost forever. So, so this is before I had to buy a new Cosmic Cruiser. So I did spend a bit of money on this one. And for that kind of money, you want the box intact, and you certainly want the little bits and pieces. And so to have it arrive like that, how much does it cost to post to Mars? Exactly. It costs a lot. I would have paid extra to put it in a proper box, but
proper box, an extra booster. I mean,
yeah. Not cool.
Oh,
so you can claim it though, can't you? Can't you do not a Facebook, eBay claim?
You can. I've done that. I've done that before, but it went on for months, and I ended up getting back just a pittance of what I paid. So on this one, I think I left bad feedback. I didn't leave feedback or something like that. But I don't know, man. And now, if I was to make a substantial purchase like that now, I would message in advance, because you have to learn the hard way sometimes. I would message in advance and say, how do you intend to send this? How do you intend to package this? I would pay more to get a proper box for the damn thing.
Yeah.
Luckily, when it arrived,
it should be included.
Right?
Yeah, I think it should be included in the price. If the postage price is what they say it is, well, then it's their responsibility to then make sure it gets to you in the condition that you bought it. Did you end up showing them the photos that you sent me to show them?
Yeah, I don't think they gave a flying monkeys. But nowadays, so listen up in the chat, because it could happen to you if you're making a substantial purchase. Message him and ask, for crying out loud, how do you intend to send this to me?
How are you, Gazz?
Gazz is in the house.
Your point is very well made. I'm watching a GI Joe Defiant auction on eBay right now. I think it still has like 3.5 days left. It's not a complete one. The person's like, Defiant complete, and it's like, oh, far from it. The hilarious part is, so the current bid price, right, plus shipping of $5.95.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
I'm like, whoever gets that, they're just gonna be like, here, in just fractured pieces. Like, here you go. I'm sure it was lovely.
It's dust. Blended dust. I've got one bit of show and tell, if you'll indulge me. I didn't go and hang out with you legends, as much as that would have been cool to do. One day.
Soon.
One day. But I did get something in the mail, which I think is appropriate for an incoming transmission, and that is this. Let me cool. For the ladies at home, let me solo myself so you can. Hello, ladies.
Look at that beard.
Look at that. Look, and I'm sandwiched between a Robo Skull and the red laser, but that is an appropriate use of a reaction figure by putting what was typically not a 5 POA action figure into what it should have been, given the history of Action Force. red laser coming at you. And look at that. Look at that skull and crossbones. That's too good.
Good
But
stuff.
yeah, that's. I think that Super 7, while they're expensive and not everyone's cup of tea, when you're looking at 5 POA figures, this was a brilliant idea to incorporate.
That makes sense for that figure. Totally.
I agree. Okay, let's remove me from solo layout. Do.
And whenever I want one to open, I buy 2. So I bought 2, and that means that one of them is open.
Let me solo you so we can get a good look at the. Oh yeah. So have you got just handy? Have you got an actual Action Force figure for comparison?
You know it.
Yay!
It sometimes takes me a while to prepare for the show, but I bring the goods.
Yeah, you do.
There he is. Now, as you've seen before, this one has got a bit of damage. This is actually my older brother's one from when we were kids. It's got some damage there, but my main man, Adam, is, bless his heart, he's trying to help us out in that regard.
Oh, nice.
But there we have the original Bendy figure.
Yeah.
And a new straight limb figure. And this figure, we got it by accident in a way. It was supposed to be packaged with the Laser Exterminator. My brother being into cars and such, my parents got him the Shadow Track, and included was this figure. So technically a mistake, but a very good one. Because it meant we ended up with this guy.
That's cool.
Sweet.
So the back, can I have a look at the back of the Super 7 version? Is there anything of note?
He's got the same backpack as the original one.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Cool.
And it does have the groove in it that the gun will sit in. Now, I haven't actually tried to put the gun in the groove because I'm worried I'm going to scratch it or something. And,
all right.
And like I say, when you're making a substantial purchase, you want to think of these things and be wary of how could this be damaged? How can somebody screw up my day? So I haven't tried with the gun, but it certainly looks like it'd fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Action Force HQ, I was very lucky in a way that it came up right because I didn't lose any of the pieces. But yeah, not a good time.
Yeah, but that is definitely the best use of reaction figures I've seen. Other than obviously the Aliens when they did that, because that made sense too. But when they were doing GI Joe, people were saying, "Oh, it's GI Joe. It's only 5 POA." So well, yeah, but you can't argue against that though.
Nope, not for.
That's an improvement.
It totally works. Totally fits.
I get it. So no idea. Well, I'm glad that after spending some time with us today, that you were able to learn something new, because we don't often share anything that people don't already know. So, well, yeah, I feel chuffed about that. Good.
Chuffed.
I feel chuffed. Yeah, but that was good stuff. So that's all the pictures I have and all the show and tell that I have. Scuba Pete, where are you going to be directly after this in a short while?
At 8 p.m. Eastern. That's 1 a.m. UK. I am going to be on with Keep On Collecting, Matthew and Andrew hanging out.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll keep the Australian theme going for Saturday night.
Nice. Zazel, I can't see the action figure for all that hair you have. Yeah, sorry. Oh, dear. If Classified is still hanging out in the chat, if you could add Keep On Collecting's link to the chat here so people know where to go and keep watching more scuba stuff. But speaking of more scuba stuff, you do have the new channel. Give us a little bit of a rundown on what your plans are for the Scubas.
So for the Scubas, Leslie and I, after a few days into our 10-day travel stint, our UK invasion, as it were, she was like, what if we did a channel, you and I together? Like, you still do some toy stuff, but we, our adventures. And I'm like, all right, keep talking.
Yeah, nice.
And so, yeah, we've kicked it around, and it's coming soon. So, yeah, we'll, like I said, Lester Vintage Toy Hunt, you're definitely going to see that on Chasing 80s Toys. But like, we go to Churchill's war room in London. We're going to put that up on the Scubas channel, and also just kind of a like this, obviously Star Wars celebration, and you know, a lot of different things, and we have a lot going on around our area. We've got bourbon distilleries, caves.
Ooh, nice.
You know, you name it, we got a lot going on. So,
well, I'm already subscribed with notifications on, so when you drop something, I'm going to see it.
Little swing.
Yeah, it is a great idea. I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks, Jim.
I'm sure there'll be some more. There it is. Give it a sub. Get it? Get it? I get it, Classified. You're funny. You're hilarious. Give it a sub. I get it. But definitely go check it out, because I imagine there's going to be a lot of content for in between where you've just been and where you're going to be going, which is Joe Fest. We'll see some of that stuff on there probably too.
Right.
But yeah. I always think it's great when they abbreviate "keep on collecting." What time is the cock stream? It's coming up.
Yeah. The cock will be on at well, that'd be 1 a.m. your time, Dave. 8 p.m.
So is that about an hour-ish?
Yes,
an hour.
About an hour.
About an hour, yeah.
Right. Yep. And Gazz is throwing in the actual stream to watch it on.
Awesome. Thanks, Gazz.
Aussie legends keep on collecting. Go and check them out. I don't want to say cock for short, because those guys have got big cock energy. And by that I mean keep on collecting algorithm. I'm not being dirty. Sub to the Scubas, yes, please do. TJC, where can we find you, good sir? Oh, and also thank you for sending me all the links. There are links in the description for a lot of these people that weren't on here today, but were at the event. So please do go check those out as well. But TJC, where are we finding you at? And what are you doing over there?
Well, not much really. I mean, I'm just doing the odd little game videos, obviously on the channel at the moment on YouTube, but that's still in early days at the moment, so we'll have to see where we go with that. But apart from that, you'll find me in the chat of all the other channels on here.
Yeah, and we love having you here, Terry. So thank you for joining us. Here it is. Here's the link. Thank you, Classified Chet Champion Classified.
Cool.
Good stuff. Space Commander, what have we got coming up?
Well, I've been in talks with Kraken recently, so I'm hoping that maybe sometime, perhaps with Adam from GoFigure, maybe we can have a customs night, perhaps.
Ooh, that is a good
please.
idea.
So hopefully, I'm working on it. But other than that, I think we've got some secret project stuff that we'll talk about eventually. That's coming up.
It's got to be coming up soon. Great photos, TJC. Great to be able to see something I will never get to see in person. We'll never say never.
Never say never.
Exactly.
Look at that. Sub number 53 goes to Gazz.
Thanks, Gazz. Hey, G-Force.
G-Force Racing 20, or I say GFR 20, just to be short. But hello. Good to see you. And figuratively speaking, hello.
Hey.
Check out Adam's great channel here. What have I got coming up? Oh, yeah, get this. Mode Tuesday Night Live returns for the third week in a row. We are 4 weeks maybe in a row. We haven't done them in a row since we started, but I think we were up to like 4 in a row. So if nothing goes wrong, this Tuesday, or Mode Tuesday as we call it Mode Tuesday Night Live, but it could be time zones being what they are. It could be morning, could be afternoon. Mr. Scuba Pete still hanging out in the chat saying hi to everyone. Mrs. Scuba Pete, thanks for dropping in earlier. It was great to have you on the channel. I look forward to meeting you in person at Joe Fest. First round's on me. What do you drink? A barrel of anything.
She's a rub drink girl.
I'll behave myself then. I don't mess with the rummos. And then so we've got Mo Tuesday Night Live coming in, and we've got Chris Miwa who's going to be hanging out with us from Chasing 80 Toys. If you want to see the best representation of Skeletor live and in person, his cosplay is the way to do it. It is better than anything you'll see live action, and I'm not dissing the live action Skeletor because that was cool, but his cosplay is next level stuff. He isn't. It's almost. I mean, if he said that he peeled his face off for the Skeletor, I would believe it. It is that realistic. So that'll be this Tuesday on this channel. Don't miss it out. But don't go anywhere, guys, because you've got an hour to go have yourself go grab yourself a snack Go grab yourself a coffee. Go grab yourself a rum, Mrs. Scuba Pete. If you need to, go grab yourself a rum and stick around because they're hanging out over at the, I don't want to say, the Keep On Collecting channel very soon. So go check that out. What did everyone think of the intro that I did for today's one with the little space thingy in the? Is it working?
I like it. Yeah, it was cool.
Cool, yeah.
I love the way that at the end when you see the space station there, and then at the end you actually see the little space pod come down, the Space Commander in it.
Yeah. And then after that, he goes up against the Robo Skull. It's all connected. It's all good story.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too overboard and ruin it.
Just something you threw together.
We've got a liter at the airport.
Oh, we're
a liter of rum.
Cuban rum.
I can't do rum. It just it does things to me. Crash is in the house saying a very specific Space Commander.
Crash, yes, Crash and I had a little transaction. I got him some parts he needs recently for some of the Action Force stuff that he's renovating.
Oh, awesome!
And in exchange, he got me the two lanterns, the two lamps that I need for the AF7. I've got the labels ready to go, so I'm only missing a couple of little bits. But yeah, so I've got those finally, thanks to my man Crash. And another thing he sent, because he knows I'm a big rock and metal fan, and he knows that I love the original Kiss, he sent over a little Ace Frehley for me.
That is so cool.
He's got the guitar.
Oh, nice.
He's got the winged cape. It's fantastic. I love that.
He fits in well.
And this figure says, "One day I was so mad at Paul, I took a dump in front of him just to freak him out." True story.
Nailed it. I just can't do rum. I don't mess with it. It messes with me. But you, by all means, go nuts. Don't go nuts, but yeah. All right, guys, we'll leave it there. But thank you, everybody. I'll play the somber song at the end because I can't get rid of that. I love the old Space Commander outro, so we'll play that now. Thank you to everybody that was in the chat. I appreciate it. Thank you to everyone that's new.
Yes,
if you're new, please leave a like and subscribe. Definitely go and check out Crashes. The patches, bro. The patches.
Yes. Have you got a Mo?
Yeah.
So when I was out and about meeting up with the guys, I was worried that, with the getting changed at the hotel and all this sort of thing, I thought, what happens if I lose the badge? I might be in trouble with the badge. Now, many years ago, back in the days when bftb.uk had a forum, I would sometimes I got an interview basically with one of the costumers from the first G.I. Joe live action movie, Rise of Cobra.
Nice. Yeah.
And she sells patches based on films that TV shows on her eBay page. So this was back in the days before the crazy price hikes in postage and shipping, when you could send something quite substantial across the Atlantic and it would only cost a few quid, and it didn't arrive in bits like we just saw. Yeah. So I got a whole bunch of patches from her. Sent over. She just put them in a jiffy bag or a padded envelope and sent them over the sea, and it was fine. Only cost a few quid. And I sent her like little files of all the Action Force team badges, including the German variants and the Red Shadows, and said, "Can you do anything with these?" And she made a full set of patches.
What?
And her eBay name is, I think it's Katara 8. Katarra 8, I think that's what it is, because this was quite a few years ago. But I recently I had a look on her eBay page again to see if she still did the patches, because I thought, what happens if I lose my badge?
Right.
Now, because the postage was crazy, it was like 30 quid or something just for the postage on top of the price of the patches. I asked my mate Crash if he wouldn't mind. Thank you very much, Crash. He bought the two patches I needed and put him in the envelope with the other pieces he was sending over. So our little exchange worked out. I got free shipping, basically. So if you hold on a moment, this is just when I'm out and about, I've got a different hat. Hang on a sec.
Righto.
How about that action?
Hey, that solo. Hang on, let's check it out. That is so good. Yes.
So
That's awesome.
But yeah, I believe the eBay page is Katara 8. Katarra 8. I think that's it. But
Well,
yeah,
if you look it up, and I'll add it to the description later. But it looks wonderful.
For that Space Commander on the go.
Well, you'll be able to go through airport security now.
Yeah. Over here, sir.
Oh, he's doing the change. It's a transformation. He's a transformer. He actually just swapped the head. It's a head swap.
That's right. Thanks to Space Commander's mum for sewing, because I can't sew worth a toss, and certainly not in 0G. So
thanks, Mum.
For sorting that out for me.
And a happy birthday to anyone that might be having a birthday this year or has had one this year. Just so,
especially Ken.
His name's Ken.
Yeah, if your name is Ken, if you ever have had a birthday, oh, he sent you the mouton. I called him mutton when I first saw him. That was stupid.
You got lamb? What?
What an idiot! But thank you to everybody.
I have seen it on eBay as mutton.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It wasn't me.
It's delicious.
But don't forget to check out, keep on collecting for more of your Scuba Pete.
If you're not sick of me.
Yeah, you could be sick of Scuba Pete. I can't wait to get a lap. I was going to say lap dance. Sit down.
No, I can't wait to get that's on the second day, Zazel, not the first one. The second day, they come on and push it.
All right, it's a 3-day event. I'll work my way into it somehow. But thanks for being on here. Thanks you,
for having us.
Mrs. Space Commander. Not Mrs. Space. Well, thanks, Mrs. Space Commander, for jumping into the chat. Yep. It was good to see you. And Mrs. Scuba Pete, thank you for jumping in to the screen. And thank you, TJC, Scuba Pete, Space Commander, everybody in the chat. And lastly, we're going to go out with probably the old intro that we're going to use as our outro from now on. Check it out one time, won't you? Goodbye, everybody. Boo, 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 boo. Oh, you're dismissed.
Space Commander. Space Commander. Space Commander. Space Commander. Space Commander. Space Commander. Space Commander, Space Commander, Space Commander.